Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Omen Duel between a mix that you don't usually see, a matchup. It's because his name's Mix and I was looking at that word. Yeah, it's weird. I'm slowly turning into my parents. Anyway, the 152 Easy played by Mix Coffee, who is not Mix 90, it's somebody else. And 1 Spain played by Skull. So we'll cover the deck reviews, obviously two divisions you don't really see a lot. And then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the deck review for Skull, and he's playing as the first Spanish division, which I consider a very mid division. I wouldn't say it's terrible, although there's very few terrible divisions in the game these days, courtesy of me, of course. And but I wouldn't say it's so great either. So I'd say it's below average. So let's go through it tab by tab. We got 2 cards of supply, so 2 of the smaller ones. Right, can be worth having a bigger one for your arty, for example. Just get some cost efficiency in there, because it carries twice as much, but it's not twice the cost. Just personal preference, really. There's not too much difference between them. You're not going to save too many points by doing this, right? You'd save like 60 points by doing that, so it's not a big deal. Then for the CVs, so we've got no tank CVs, which is kind of odd, and then we've got four CVs here, but these are 3-point slots, right? So this is 2. So like, this is a really nice CV. I do bring this 40 points for 2 availability. It's super good for just buying 2 CVs at the start. There's not. I mean, this can work, I suppose. It's just, you can save an AP. I'm not sure where it would go, but you can save an AP. And, yeah, I mean, we'll come back to it. So, Inf tab, yeah, this is like, so the Inf is super expensive for some reason. I honestly think these are garbage. I tried bringing it, and it just is so bad. It can go in a building, right? But the idea is that, it's supposed to shoot at. It can shoot at. What's going on with that rate of fire? That's very strange. I think that's just ammo consumption, actually. Anyway, uh, like how fast this goes down, which means that actually it can spend a lot of time shooting. Either way, the grenade launcher is way better. The issue you're gonna have with this division is that your anti-helo is really weak, and it's like you've just got to cope with it. You just got to cope with it and use these in good positions. But yeah, the Gay Boy is super bad. I really don't like it. I really don't like it. Having lost games off the back of this thing, I don't bring it anymore. And then there you go, you've saved 3 AP, right? And, that can go wherever you want. But, yeah, so Milan 2, very useful. You can bring it in a car if you want, or you can bring it in this thing and get another Milan. It is bad stealth, but 30 points for a Milan, with a 50 cal. It's not so bad for flank defense, but it does have bad stealth, right? So either one can work. I do bring it in this one. The grenade launcher should be in the PP lag because it's actually a crazy unit, and the fact that it only comes on one, like, it's really weird. So you've got Spain here, and it's like, here's this cool unit that we read about in the dev blog, and I was like, wow, I'm hyped for this unit, and they literally gave it to the grenade launcher team, and that's it. There's no infantry squad with this. Because this would be really good as like a spam it out, because it's got smoke and a grenade launcher, 40mm grenade launcher. It's nice and fast, but no, it only comes on this. Anyway, the Fusilier. So I bring all mine in cars, because I mean it's just too slow. I don't know. I mean, it can work. It's just generally, if I want fire support, I'm buying the tank. So I actually bring all of these guys in cars. It's worth trying it both ways and seeing which one you prefer. But yes, I do bring a card of the M65s and 2 cards of the CV90s. And I bring them all in the truck, because I mean it doesn't have smoke or anything. It can work. It can work. But yeah, I prefer them in the trucks because then I get my points back, and because like this actually has a Milan on it, right? Um, and yeah, but yeah, I bring all of these. The only thing I don't bring is the Gay Boy, which I used to bring, but I stopped. I've seen some people run 2 cards of Milans, but I think having this 3 AP here is going to be pretty useful. So next thing, right? So you get rid of this, and that's 3, and then you get the tank CV, that's 2. And if you want if you want the one that's literally the same price, you can get this. And you're like, okay, I'll be behind at the start. Yes, you will. I'm very sorry to hear that, but you will, yes. Oh, there was a CV here. Okay, so 2, 4, 6. Yeah, so the way I do it is I have one expensive one and one cheaper one. It's just so you can save the AP, because it will come in handy later. In the arty tab, yeah, so I used to run 2 of these and the mortar for smoke, and I prefer this one because it's wheeled, so it's just kind of better, um, in my humble opinion. This obviously is a bigger smoke clouds, but this is cheaper and it's super fast. For some reason, it doesn't have a smoke launcher actually on it, even though here are the smoke things. The FV432 can also launch smoke from smoke canisters and be a mortar, I think. Yeah, it can see, so it is possible. Uh, yeah, so that's how I used to do it. But what I started doing was so I run 3 cards of supply because otherwise this won't work. But I run the MLRS. I run one of these in the MLRS. So 2 of these together can one volley basically any ground unit in the game, up to and including M1A1 HAs. But if you're against somebody with a brain, they're just going to move. And so I have been experimenting with using one of these and one of these, and then yeah, it's like, well, if there's a M1A1, I guess you just don't kill it in one volley. You do give up that capacity. But in exchange, this thing's actually kind of a beast. It's like a better grad. I mean, it really is, because it's got the same reload and aim time and everything as a grad, but it's got bigger rockets. So it's worth looking into, but this is the safer option, the way it is here. Anyway, yeah, so I bring this thing. It's a TOW2 launcher. It's probably a little bit too expensive for what it is, because it's only got mediocre stealth, but it's nice and fast. It shoots TOW2s at people. It's got smoke and mediocre stealth. What more do you want? And then, yeah, I'm not sure why this is like lower availability than these, when you have to pay more for it, and it's like it's one more armor, and all of a sudden, whoa, it's got to be so expensive, bros. But anyway, you do kind of have to bring it because you don't have, well, you just don't have loads of cards of tanks, right? So yeah, this is an AMX-30B2, but Spanish. 70 kilometers an hour. Oh, this is also 70. Okay. So they are fast. They're just kind of not great against, like, T-72s and stuff. You go up against an M1A1 and you deal 1 damage to him, and he deals about 8 to you. You are half the price, but you know what? You got to hit him 10 times. He has to hit you twice. Anyway, and then these, I think I bring 1 card. I can't remember. Maybe they are good. I couldn't say either way because I never buy them. But maybe it is good. It's just kind of strange to me that so this is the French one, and you get an auto cannon with 65% accuracy, which is crazy. For 5 points more, you get that auto cannon, and it's like, what? And that's so worth it. And the Spanish one just seems kind of not great by comparison. The gun is the same and stuff. Because on the other one, right, you've also got this thing, and I still think it's not really fair. But the Spanish one has 2 heavy machine guns, right? And it's got more accuracy on the gun, 10% more. So I think in fact, I think it's fair for them to cost the same. Um, but these two, it's just so obvious that the French one's way better for 5 points more. You get an autocannon. Um, anyway, so yeah, 2 cards of these. I mean, we'll see. Maybe they're really good. We'll see. I just always, because like, okay, you can buy 3 of these in a minute. You can only buy 2 of these. Well, you can buy less than 2 of these in a minute because they're 135, not 130. But um, you know, yeah, maybe it's good. Maybe it is good. Who knows? We'll see. And then we spoke about the CB tanks and this thing. So recon tab. So I don't actually bring this. So what this is it's the. So it's really weird that there's no EM1 in this tab because this is just the EM2. But basically, it's firing the same round as the EM2, but it's got the firing mechanisms of the E. So it's got a much better gun than the E. Um, and it's it's faster and like it is way better than the one on the left, which is another reason why I don't really like this one. But it doesn't shoot as fast as the EM2 because it's an EM1. So it's a shame there were no EM1s in here. But yeah, I don't bring these. Like, so you've not got a recon helo, um, and how much how much of this do you need? I know somebody who's really good. It's Gnef, and he's like a top level. Look, he's rank 6, and the way he plays the Spanish is that he brings 3 cards of this because you could get 3. So like this and this would just be more of these. Um, but I'm personally of the opinion that it's like, well, what do you actually need? What do you actually need so much recon infantry for? And like this is a tracked unit, it's kind of bad. I'd much rather have a recon helo. And then for this thing, like it's still bad stealth, so I don't see the appeal really. Like it's gonna help you a little bit at the start, and then what? It's you've maybe it's good, and we'll see. But it's at no vet because you only get 2 at 1 vet. Maybe it's good. But you'll notice I removed a card of recon infantry. I just think having a recon healer is so useful. If you get somebody in your backline, well, how are you going to spot him? Anyway, so yeah, the Aspid, you kind of have to bring it even though it's not great. The AMX-30, I think you have to bring it even though it's not great because this is how you kill helicopters. And then this, I don't know if you've actually tried to use this, but I don't think it's very good at all. I think it's very bad. Um, and so I'd vastly prefer bringing this, which is exactly the same as the West German one, except it costs 5 points more, which is obviously a bit silly. And you can use this against infantry, and it's a lot better against infantry than this is, mainly because it's got more than twice the accuracy, and it fires 2 more in a salvo. Although I suppose, this would be... So it'd be like that, wouldn't it? So... yeah, so that would be a comparison. So maybe actually, maybe it's not so bad. Once you start vetting it, it's only 10% less accuracy, but that's well, the salvo length's higher on the... Yeah, so this is better, it's just you gotta tow it around everywhere, and obviously it costs a lot more, because this is 60 and this is 35. You can almost buy 2 of these for the price of that. So maybe it is good, maybe it's worth it, but this is how I do it. Helis, so Hot 1, okay, but I really think that you should get these at 2 vet. They're so good. Especially at 2 vet. It's got a 75% chance of hitting at least once in its 10 round salvo. So you can do an opener where you open with a couple of these and a jet and the recon helo. And you can just shut down all the enemy's forward deployment. It's a very funny thing. You can do the same with 5e. This div is literally just a bad version of 5e. It's worth saying. Anyway, so air, yeah, you need these. You kind of need them. And then, yeah, the AT one's super good, and I bring the bomber as well. I know some people just bring 2 cards of the AT one. Like, this is the best part of your division. Nobody else has anything like this. It's 40% ECM Maverick launcher. It's really good. Probably a bit too cheap, frankly. But, yeah, so then with those 2 remaining points, you can accomplish nothing, apparently. Yeah, the slot costs on this div are kind of rough, man. So I think what I do is I don't have this. I mean, I suppose yeah, you could still bring this or whatever, right? You could still have that. And then you got the best of both worlds. Maybe you could even put it at 2 vet now, but... And yeah, you've still got this for the infantry, but what I've got on mine is basically, because I don't have... Well, actually, let me just check. So yeah, I've got 3 cards of supply. My inf tab's basically the same. Although, oh, I forgot the regular Fusileros. So something to note, right, is that the regular Fusileros get a grenade launcher vehicle. So if you want to spam towers, this is probably a good one to bring, actually. And they're sort of like Zickerungs or whatever, so they're decent against infantry for the price. So maybe it's worth, putting that in. Maybe, it's up to you. But no, I think I do have a full infantry tab then, in that case. Anyway, I mean, best deck review ever. Here's my deck, just do that. So, you see I've got one fewer AMX-30E. I've got a 3rd card of supply. I do actually have a full inf tab. Because I've got 2 cards of these, and I don't know if they're really any good, frankly. Especially with this being 500 meters, I've had a lot of problems with them. But yeah, maybe it's... So like, what's missing there? A card of infantry. And then in exchange, he's got this and this, basically. But yeah, you'll note that I have 3 cards of supply. And then in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't have the E2 whatever. And I don't have one of these. So for my 3rd... But I do have a full infantry tab. So yeah, there's lots of ways to build it, and they're all bad. So yeah, we've got Mixed Coffee. He's playing 1-5-2 easy. I won't be too helpful on this one because I don't play it because it's sort of painful to play. I mean, I hear it's received lots of buffs, but who cares? So lots of supply. You probably don't need 3 cards of supply on this division. I mean, so he wants to use these howitzers, which aren't very good. And then he's not got any mortars for smoke, so I'd be sort of swapping that out for this. And yeah, on this div you can afford to not bring... so you can either get the cheaper one or the one that goes further, so I prefer that one. These used to go 4-3-2 and they got reverted or something, it's kind of sad, but... I don't really think you need 3 cards of supply on this. What the heck? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so a lot of CVs and not a lot of infantry, which is kind of weird. So that's only a 1-point slot. Huh. Okay. It's another one where it's like, just build it the way I do, but I mean, isn't that what these all are? The Commando's Delay, yes, you really want. Sadly, this transport isn't Special Forces anymore. So this doesn't go super fast if you max bet these, but it's still good, and the Vib's still nice. I'm pretty sure I remember bringing 1 in the Vib, because the Vib isn't actually that good. It's just nice at the start because of the 100 kilometers an hour road speed and the fact that it's fire support, and then I think I bring 1 in the truck. The CVs, okay, I mean, you can do it that way. Or, there you go. I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, and you can get rid of that and get some more infantry. Reservists LRAC are not so bad. But the idea basically behind this div is that you spam out reservist Vabs for 20 points and you just try and hit everybody with this 50 cal. It doesn't have the best damage because it's reservist. So it gets -5% accuracy, which you might not think is a lot, but it's a quarter of the damage output. But the aim time and reload time aren't as bad as they used to be. And yeah, the strat used to revolve around just spamming these guys out in the reservist Vab. Don't bring the 50 cal whatever. If you want an MMG, you bring this, but I don't really think you need one if you've got 24 reservist Vabs everywhere, so I would be doing that. It's been a while since I played. I'm going to have to play him again. And I don't actually bring the reservists LRAC, and then the Prevo now get a military police vehicle, so you can keep that with your... I suppose you don't really have any reservist tanks, but you can keep it with your reservist Vabs, so that's something you can actually bring. And they will buff up your guys. Gendarmes de l'air are sort of okay, but they don't come with the reservist vehicle, so And you definitely need 2 cards of ATGMs, and you want them in the VAB Milan so you can get as many ATGMs out as possible. So yeah, I mean, this should definitely be at 1 vet. And then it's a case of, like, you don't really need the reservist cell rack anymore, because it's probably much better to get another card of Marsoins, so that you can, because these are actually not so bad. 60 points for DMR and an L rack, and that's what you would use for your second card of, because, like, you're really only bringing these for the AT, and the AT's crap anyway, so you might as well might as well bring these. And yeah, you'll note that these are better against infantry and these are better against vehicles. Regular sappers are also very useful, but yeah, we need that second card of ATGMs. So where does that come from? So this thing, is this good? I don't really think so, but there it is. This is not good. For 15 points more, you can get a Milan too, which is a lot better in my opinion. And it's also a faster vehicle, so it goes super speedily. So I'd be getting that. Vadmo pistol you kind of have to bring, even though it's not that great. Frankly, I mean, because it's got mediocre stealth and no smoke, and it's like, right. Okay, so this is where all the tanks are, I suppose. So basically, this is the meta pick, because I suppose this has the military police tag, but this is kind of the meta pick because this is actually not so bad against infantry, and it can fire smoke. So that's how people play this div. They use these and they shoot smoke at the enemy, and then they can round, get around, I get around. And you've got to be super duper good to do that, and all the enemy has to do is just buy heavy tank and then they win. So that's why this div isn't great. Like, this is just not worth 70 points. It's got good stealth, which is nice, actually, so it can get around and shoot people. And this has very good optics for who knows what reason. But yeah, you've just got a lot of things sort of fulfilling the same role here. I think at least one of them should be this, which is more of an anti-infantry role and gives optics to everybody. This is not bad for 4 availability for 6 strength healer with good optics is nice for because it can survive 1 manpad hit. Then here's some more, AT guys, and then you've got the reservist eclairs, which I don't think I bring. Not sure of the advantage there, because that's a 3-point slot, and this is 2, and there must be a 1-pointer somewhere, but anyway, instead of those guys, you could bring more Marsoins, which I think is probably... Or, what happens if you get to a town? What are you going to do? Right, you need the sappers, in my opinion. Or, a Milan 1, if I have Milan. So, take your pick. But yeah, you're going to be without... it's just because of all these, right? So what, you need 4 of those instead of 7 of them? Do you know what I mean? What? Okay, that's not right. I mean, obviously the one on the left is way better because it's got very good optics and good stealth, so I suppose that makes sense, but it's rough what you're having to pay for that. Anyway, Crow Tower, yes, you need it. Minstrel, I think I bring mine in the VAB T20, but if you've got the Vibs, maybe you don't need it. So maybe you can bring it in the car. And then this is apparently quite good against infantry, but it runs out of ammo within a minute, so I'm not really sure it's worth it. And then you'd get 1 more point back, and you could spend it on what? I don't know. More howitzers? I don't know. It's just not a good div. Helis, so ATGM Helo, it's not going to do much, but it's nice to look at. It's nice to have. Maybe the enemy won't notice how bad it is and he'll run away. And then this is not so bad, because honestly I bring it at 2 vet, so that it fires mega fast and does like more, twice the damage basically. But yeah, it can survive a manpad hit, which is nice. And then in the air tab, never upvet your jets, it's just never worth it. You got lots of jets, and then... So AA1, AA2, this is against planes, I guess. This is 5 availability. I don't know, I mean, maybe it's good. But it's Mainly about soaking rounds. And then super retard rock. I get at least one of these I'd have as the HE one. It's just not a good div, man. It doesn't really matter how you build it. It's just kind of bad. It really is. I mean, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? Buy these. They all die in a couple minutes and they're only 4 availability. And then you just lose. At least if you get it in this tab, it's literally got twice the availability, which is nice. And the gun is the same. It's just the other, like, because how many times do you really need to sneak around the side and hurt people? I think it'd be much better to get this. And then you've got 2 AP left, which, I don't know, you could spend on more supply, I guess. Oh, well, yeah, why not? You get CVs in there. There you go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you don't need that. And now you can get your satchels. Well, maybe that's better. At least you got your satchels now. And you still got all your CVs. It's just not a good div, man. Anyway, let's get on with the game. Right, so with that out of the way, let's talk about the map briefly. It's perfectly symmetrical. Basically, the way I always play it is I fight in mid, and then I just come attack over here. And if I'm on the other side, I fight in mid, and I just come attack over here. And that seems to work for me quite well. Maybe there are other ways of doing it, but that always seems to work quite well. Attack here at the start, and then come over here about halfway through the game. In terms of which side I prefer, both have their advantages. I mean, it's almost symmetrical, right? But if you're on this side, you get a nicer road here, so you path the CV up through here and then through here, right? But if you're on the other side, you get a church in the town. There you go, so you can see further than atheists. So which side do I prefer? Probably this side, actually, because like this forest is pretty cool because you can get into this quite easily and then get a guy up to there, and hey presto, you know, you can basically, because a lot of the reinforcement roads come down here, so you know if they're going to reinforce this, a lot of the time it'll come down here, and so if you get a guy in there, or you know move it up to there or put it in here or whatever, then you can sort this out. But it's a very, very similar map. Like, does it really matter either way? Do you know what I mean? Playing around these areas as well is kind of crucial. Anyway, it's like, well, you should do a guide on it. Well, I mean, why? Just to say that? I suppose so. Get the views. I do need the money. Anyway, in terms of the matchup, I think Spain's better than 157, 152. 152 is definitely better than the Soviet 157. But yeah, I think Spain's better. The advantage of Spain is that it's got a lot of medium tanks, and so against these kind of super light divs like 152, I think it just kind of beats the snot out of them. The thing is, 152 does have better infantry in the form of the Commandos de l'Air, which are absolutely cracked. So if you can get a bunch of those into Bravo, it's pretty nice. And it gets a lot of super light things, which on a map this wide is really useful. You can just send them all through the forests. They've got good stealth and very good optics, and you can just really cause some mayhem. But you're limited by your own imagination. I see so many people play this game, and they're like, I play Bravo. And then you get one little flank over here, and it's like lights out for them, because they just, I play Bravo. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, looking at the deployments, we've got some Commandos de l'Air. And one of them's going over to here, and one of them's going to there. They do get airborne forward deployment. Oh yeah, that's another thing. 152 gets airborne forward deployment in the form of the Commandos de l'Air. And Spain doesn't. So that's not great for Spain. He is going to get there second. And then we've got 3 AML-90s, and he's sending them all into defensive locations. It's a shame. I think he should be trying to sneak around and hurt people. Recon Helo for mid, and then he's got these reservist declares in helicopters, which he's trying to drop in places. This basically you want to drop it here, otherwise it's going to drop in front, and if there's a guy here, he's going to shoot you. Whereas if it drops behind, you know, as you get behind the building, he can't shoot you anymore, so it does tend to help a bit. And yeah, Commandos delay for mid, but in a super defense, like he could go all the way up to here. The enemy wouldn't be able to stop him, I'm pretty sure, because he doesn't get well there at the very least. But yeah, I'd be trying to get to like this building, especially with the helicopter. Just run that in first, see if it gets shot. You know, you'll see the enemy. AML 90 Marceau's Eclairs. This is a really nice unit. You just don't get enough of them, really. It's got Appalachian and 2... You know, for 65 points, it's got Smoke, the best rocket launcher in the game, and 2 machine guns and 8, you know, and exceptional stealth, very good options. Really nice, but you only get 1 card, so... And Resolute. 50 cal, which I think is, like... I'm not sure why he's bringing that. A Milan 1 Jeep, because he doesn't bring the Milan 2 Jeeps, which is kind of weird. And a Crotal. Then on the right, we've got more AML 90s, but... Okay. And then a CV for India, Hotel, Foxtrot, Golf, Bravo. Usually I buy 2. But, you know, 1 for India, Hotel, Bravo, 1 for Foxtrot, Golf, but whatever. And a Milan Jeep. It's only a Milan 1. I mean, it's only 35 points, but it's also only 7 availability, which is very strange. And, yeah, Recon Helo drop. Switching to his opponent's deployment, we've got Skull playing 1 ES. They get these, it's basically a lav. It's just a Spanish lav, but I believe, because it doesn't get the vet, the autocannon's not as good, and I think the lav gets 2 armor and an extra gun or something like that. But I think it gets 2 side armor, and it's amphibious or something. But anyway, these are still really good. You get 8 of them, and he has brought all 8, so... Yeah, okay, so we'll start on the right, I suppose. Well, left to right makes more sense. Unless you're reading Arabic, of course. So Jeanettes, which are just sort of like the poor man's Marceau's Eclairs, but they are 15 points cheaper. Vec on the left, and then this thing, which is a Recon AMX, which I don't actually bring, but maybe it is worth it. And that's coming over to here. Then for mid, we've got 10 Guerrillian Recon Attack. So, Jeanettes, Vec, Recon Tank. Oh, it's all going there. I could have sworn it said there was... So what's going here, then? Oh, it's one of the Vex. One of the Vex is going here, one's going there. It's just this line has so much going on it that it looks less transparent. Anyway... Behind that, we've got the Infantry Gay Boys. I took them out of my deck. I thought, man, after using them, after being let down by them, and then the Car Gay Boy, which I don't bring either, but yeah, if you're going to do something like this, you do need some AA with it. And then, yeah, Vec on the right, and Gay Boy on the right, and a very cheap Recon unit. 20 points here. I did bring those. Recently, I'm trying the snipers out. We'll see if they work. Anyways, let's see how this game goes. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners. Generously joiner in the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. One join at the lowest levels worth 2,000 views, so if you're feeling bad about your ad block, it's a great way to support the channel. This is currently my sole source of income as I try and finish a PhD. My thesis defense is in October, and I've been told it's not going to go very well, but anyway, yeah, so I shill lots because otherwise I'm going to have to go get a real job and be a real human being, and I don't want to do that, so please like the video. Anyway, so Hornet coming around here, does get a rocket off there, but it does miss. It would have killed it, actually, if it hit. It's only got 4 HP. And now he's got these things on him, but does he know that they cost less than 1/3 the price of his plane? And he can just kill them? Because this has 8 HP. And this is why you don't upvet your fighters, because it literally doesn't matter, you're just going to lose them. This should go on this one now. Okay, so he did. And I suppose he could have tried to finish this one off first, but I guess it makes sense to try and keep this alive. Yeah, I think he made the right call there, actually. Because if those two had got more rounds off on this, it would have died. And then that was just, you know, this misses. It's got 40% ECM, so... So, there you go, AML 90s. They are pretty effective at stopping this sort of thing, but the Jeanettes should just unload in front of him and kill him, although he's smoked now, so I guess not. Anyway, yeah, so this light attack here getting thwarted by his opponent's more defensively placed units, but you see that they're very fast, so I suppose it makes sense. I don't know, I just feel like 152 is still kind of bad, but... I've seen, so I watched I watched T-Man beat Joker-Tard so hard using this division that Joker-Tard wrote a negative review about the game and said he retired. It was a tournament game, and he lost so badly that he wrote a negative review on Steam and retired from the game. So, and that guy's got like 2,000 hours or something, and he lost to this div. So, maybe it is good, and I just don't know the ways. But in general, I think this div's B tier, and I think this div is like C tier. And these days, there's very few B and C tier divs. Well, okay, there's a lot of B tier ones, but anyway, so Jeanettes against reservist Eclairs. You'd expect the Jeanettes to win. Only the machine gun is engaging here, so 8 guns on one. But so yeah, Recon Helo goes down, and he did it. He got in, so I suppose it worked. But in the flip side, he's lost Bravo. But yeah, Mixed Coffee only opening 1 CV. I don't think is ideal. The Jeanettes here are getting hosed down though by the Vibs at 2 vet. This isn't as good as an autocannon. It used to be an autocannon. If you remember when 5e first came out, they got infinite VAB T20 autocannons. And it was very, very dumb. And people said, don't nerf it, it's not imbalanced. And then it's been nerfed about 5 times and it's still one of the best divs in the game. So, don't believe him. Just believe me. Don't believe anybody else. I'm right. Anyway. Something I do lament about this game is the fact that when you zoom out, you just can't hear anything anymore. But if I turn up the volume, then when I zoom in, it will absolutely deafen me. And I do think that's a shame. Because like, some things are like super loud, like helicopters. Because the sounds are nice. They're a lot better than they are in Red Dragon. Anyway, Marceau's Appalache should beat Jeanette's, really, because there's 10 of them. So he has to fall back. You'll note that he doesn't have a CV here. It's a bit of a weird CV purchases. And on the right side, Mixed Coffee's actually making it through here. But yeah, typically I would buy CV for Alpha Charlie Bravo and 1 for Echo Delta, and then presumably that one would be going over to India. So yeah, good counter push from Blue. He's realised, okay, I'm getting hit. I should probably, try and do something about it. Try and counter push. So we got some AMX 13s coming down here. They do have a recon healer with them, but you need ground-based recon with them really. And he's got 4 howitzers, but Skull has the 4. He has the 2 super good 203 howitzers. He's not brought the MLRS, but he's only got 2 cards of supply. So Commandos Delay with the Wasp. This used to be called the Arm Burst. And it was cruelly ripped away from the Germans and given to the French and renamed. Anyway, so he doesn't have the 20mm one, which I think is a mistake, actually. But yeah, as sure as night follows day, somebody's going to comment below this video, hey, why don't you play some 152? Because I like winning. Anyway, Vec probably should have reversed there. These guys, they're not gonna miss all 4 rounds, right? Even if that first one had missed, more would have hit. So it's actually going pretty badly for Red right now, because even though he sort of owns this zone, he doesn't, and he can't get a CV in. And he's just sort of got like 3 CVs, and he's still not... I don't know if maybe he's not played this map before or something, but like he's not capped Echo, which explains a lot. But... okay, so that was a crit, ammo explosion. But yeah, these are obviously very good against that, because that's a 50-point tank and this is an 80-point tank. By the same country, right? AMXs. It's all French. Oh dear, that's not ideal. But yeah, if I was Red, I'd sort of give up on this and start trying to sort this out, because there's only 1 unit there. Obviously he can't see that, but if he had a recon healer, which he doesn't, he would just be able to like fling it over there sacrificially, and he'd be like, oh, there's nobody here. But yeah, he doesn't have that. So these Explo things, I mean, I think, so, I don't know, I mean, in this situation, they're actually really good, because, you know, this is a 50-point tank, so they should win. But you'll note how fast they fire. It's 12 rounds a minute, and it's unaffected by veterancy, so maybe this is actually alright. But it's obviously not good against any heavier armor, but if you use it against... Well, what exactly? I mean, even if you... It's rare to get into a position where you can fire loads of guns. Anyway, so triple Mirage there gets the HE bomber. So that's how you have to use them, essentially, because if you just use one or two, they die, and that's why I think that upvetting those Crusaders was a mistake, because he could have just had a third Crusader. So, yeah, and it was smart getting this up to here to, like, snipe the reinforcements and so on. So, look at this, Mixed Coffee, he's got his own reservist coming in now. This should go down because the Tower should shoot it and they're out of AT. Although this needs to stop to use the MG, right? Okay, he's done it now. Yeah, so reservists coming in. Commandos delay here, very powerful. Once, like, these are basically this division's best unit. I mean, without this unit in the transport, forward deployed and so on, this division would just be trash. But with it, actually makes your early game very strong. And so basically what the Spanish player should have done against 152 is not open so aggressively. He should have just gone like this to make sure nobody can get around him. Because he will win the grind because his tanks are better. And, you know, they're mediums. Like, if it was like super heavy tanks, then maybe he'll outmaneuver you or whatever because he can just drive around. They're all very fast. But that's not the case, so... Yeah, the Mirage 3's to claim another victim. Like, Eyehawks would one-shot this. So out of all the divs for 152 to face, this isn't such a bad one either, because if you're against, like, 8th US or whatever, the Eyehawk just one-shots this, and it one-shots this. And then what do you do? So it's interesting he's using the guns there. So here we go, double Hornet out, and wow, okay. I mean, that's not ideal really, is it? Blimey, it got hit again. Oh my gosh. 40% ECM moments going on there. 40% ECM and he lost both of them. That is not ideal. That is not ideal. Anyway, he got Alpha back, but he's on a -4. Oh, he's finally figured out he's not capped Echo. So it'll be -2 soon. But it's still not going well for Red. And, yeah, I don't know, maybe 152 is not so bad. Maybe I should give it a try. I think certainly on this map you got a good chance, but you'll note that he bought this like a good 5 minutes ago. We haven't seen it fire once, so that's a shame. Yeah, the LRAC 73 will eventually kill this. But yeah, when I play España, right, I certainly wouldn't be sending that to go get hit by the same rocket launcher. Okay, no, it's not. And yeah, these are so bad. It's just so not good. If it was a Zwillinger, it'd be really good. But if it's a Singular, it's really not good. And as you can see, I can't even see him anymore, apparently. So, more reservist declares. 500 meters on that. 73 LREC. And you see that, you know, this will win that fight, but he's going to get side shot here. You got to not get side shot. Anyway, EBR 90's coming in. They're heat, so even at close range, they won't do, like, way more, whereas this is kinetic. So heat is the same damage at all ranges. So this should just win that fight. If he reverses, if they side shot him, then he's going to have a big problem. He's not reversing, so they're all just going to shoot him. He needs to smoke or something. Alright, will he get in before he dies? He gets in and he dies, but this is here actually, so... Yeah, I'm surprised he came in from this way and not this way where he had all the guys. But he's got plenty of CVs, as we know, he had 3 before. Yeah. So it's sort of like, I mean, it's not looking great for Red, but he is turning it around. And you can see that if he actually, like, stops, if he gets into a situation where he can actually fight Blue, he wins. The advantage of 152 is all the stuff's wheeled, so it's very mobile, but these are very mobile anyway. Well, okay, the better ones are. They go at 70. There you go, they go at 70. This is actually faster off-road than an AMX-10 RC is. In the meantime, these helos, he just kind of keeps wasting them. Because he's not got recon helos. He's just sending them out. And that's the advantage of the recon helo. That, obviously, that would go first. It's cheaper. And, what... I mean, obviously he doesn't know about this, but, like, where was this going to begin with? He should know about this, because it's shooting his guys. So he tries to drive past it here. I mean, I'm not sure what the expectation was there. So, Cluster does get another one, and this thing gets hit as well. It's having really bad air RNG, considering that these are 40% ECM planes. They're getting hit by all this crap. And, you know, this is 30%. So, he's managed to stabilize it, our Spanish player here. The ticker stopped, but he's 1,000 points behind, but he's got more than half the game. So that's a good way to think about it, actually, right? If you stabilize the tick before halfway through the game, right, then of course you can do what he did to you back, right, in the next half of the game. But first you need to stop losing your tanks to planes and pull these guys behind these buildings and turn off the auto cover and just have them sit here. Because as soon as he gets in here, they're going to shoot him again. So he just needs to sit behind here, and then these can't really come in, because if they do, they risk getting shot. But honestly, this only going 500 meters is an absolute travesty. After I mentioned it in the last video, a lot of people started explaining things to me, and I did some research myself, and it's basically, it's got a 2x optic as standard, right? And it goes less far than the M72 Law. She uses iron sights and is like 20 years older, 30 years older, something like that. So yeah, this is what I meant about having them behind the buildings. They'd be shooting now, but... And then, like, you can always move them to the next building. Okay, so he's doing it. Because, yeah, these should one-shot these. The issue, of course, is that they're low HP, low cohesion, sorry. So they're going to do a lot of missing, and this one isn't actually in the building. But as you at that range, obviously, you're going to have a very nice accuracy, so he's getting a lot of hits, though. But yeah, something like this would deal with these. That's a shame. He still had... I suppose it's only got 1 HP. So they're going to die now. It'd be so depressing. Anyway, this is probably going to go down there. Maybe it does make sense to bring this unit, just so you can have rockets everywhere. But I feel like the wraparound potential is achieved with units like this. Like, you don't have to send these around. If you... I suppose this is the recon one, so it's technically not really the same one. But you don't have to send these around if you can send this around. Because it's got good stealth and very good optics, so it can also do the same job. So here we go, mortar for smoke, but for HE in this case. And these still haven't fired. Like, he's had them for ages, and I've not seen a single howitzer round come in, and he's bought 2 more, and he's still not shot anybody. So, like, if all 3 of these opened on this, they'd kill it. Obviously, if it stops moving. And yeah, if you've got a mortar and you don't have anything else to do with it, you might as well shoot HE at them. It's not going to do a whole lot, but the main thing it'll do is force them to move, like it's doing here. After a few seconds of being hit by a mortar, they'll be like, well, I'm not just going to stand here and get hit. And they'll move. Otherwise, you will eventually rout them. You'll probably rout them before you kill them, but... Anyway, so it's, you know, it's better than nothing. And a good idea with the smoke here, but this should be further away so that the smoke cloud is wider. But if you notice what he's doing, you don't just smoke exactly on top of the CV, because if you do that, then they just bomb. They tend to just bomb the smoke. So look, he's going for the tank, so we can test our hypothesis. And as you can see, the 80-point tank beats the 50-point. I'm surprised he smoked there. I mean, if he just kept going, he would have got the next round off, and, okay, it's always a risk. Oh, he moved, okay, well, that's life. So, yeah, a bit of an issue here for red now, that blue is mobbing. Got a gay boy for the town. And, yeah, this is an AT range now. He's still not noticed it, because it was shooting small arms. It was shooting the machine gun at him, so he should have noticed he was taking damage, but this will probably... Well, it's going to get shot at the very least. We'll see if it dies. No, it missed. Well, it's got less than 50% accuracy, but he should really, like, does he still not know this is happening? Comes up here saying enemy contact, and also, like, I don't know if you're playing, I don't understand why my game volume's so low. But yeah, if you've got like people shooting rockets and stuff, I'm just gonna turn it up real quick. But it'll show how long is left in the game, and I don't want to spoil it, so maybe I'll do it after this game. But then if you zoom in, it just becomes like painfully loud if you have it too loud. It's like, this is a nice volume, but as I zoom out, it just becomes, just can't hear anything. And stuff like helicopters is like way too loud, but... Also, yeah, like in-game, like the voice lines in Southag seem to be a bit louder than everything else, than like the older voice lines. And so I think that's actually why I turned it down, because I was getting smacked by those voice lines. So there you go, he got it, and now he's got to move all his AA. You don't leave it there, especially when like the howitzers are actually finally firing now, and he got that because it wasn't, it didn't move. So. Need to be careful with this. Like, for the 3 seconds you save yourself going from here to here, if you lose the whole unit, it's obviously not worth it. So yeah, the Crow Tower got shot there. He's got some Zappadors now. He brings them at 2 vet. These have a nice vet curve. I think it's because they don't have an MG or anything. They're literally just SMGs and satchels. They're a bit kind of poopy compared to the ones with MGs and stuff, which can fight from longer range, or rifles, they can fight from longer ranges. These are like purely run at you and throw satchel, because otherwise you're not even going to shoot. I bring them at 1 vet, so I can have more of them. I don't see the... Maybe it is worth bringing them at 2 vet, but, you know, they're still going to die to an artillery piece in the same speed, so... yeah, this is a Milan 1. I really don't understand why he brings that and not the Milan 2 one. I mean, it is cheaper, but it's only 7 availability, which is just kind of hilariously bad. Anyway, M110, because like these aren't moving after they shoot, so you expect this to do quite well. What he can do is put a CV next to it, but he's not got any left. He's, well, I mean, you probably still have some more to buy, like those wheeled ones. Oh wow, it's been spotted. Has he noticed that that's happening? He has not noticed. In the meantime, the M110's getting some good rounds off. Another helo goes down. So this actually survives, interesting, because that's a volley of 3, right? But yeah, you shouldn't have this, never have a gap here, because of what I just said about attacking down there. I mean, it's just so easy to do, so you need to stop it. Like, this should be hidden behind one of these buildings, like there or something. The smoke's a good idea to, you know, block off enemy fire support and stuff, so... Plus the plane comes out and it goes down, so that wasn't worth it, really. Like, because he knows the AA's hit because of what... Oh, he's actually going to try and... No, I'm not sure what he's doing. This doesn't have any ammo, but yeah, that was a big waste, actually. Big waste. This should obviously be a lot closer. It's not even fired. All of these should be moving after they shoot, otherwise they're going to get hit by the artillery. And look, he's doing it. Not sure what... Oh, that was where the enemy... That was where the 203 was. But he has moved that one. So yeah, another thing you can do is just hit the mortars, and then they can't smoke you, because they're dead. And look at that, another wraparound attempt, and yeah, why not? I mean, you go through the forest fairly quickly, and that's what these are for, stop that from happening. The guy who was here is dead. Yeah, I'm wondering when this is going to be deployed. Presumably he's going to try that soon. Don't understand why he goes for the 50 cal unit, I just don't think that's worth it. So this is probably dead. The reason you get the self-propelled one is so you can move it between shots with shift commands. But then people get the self-propelled one and they don't move it, so it's a shame, really. Might as well get the towed one. But yeah, the self-propelled one is because you can get out of the way faster when you do notice you're being hit, like that, right? He's not died there. Whereas the Toad one, he wouldn't have been able to get out of the way so quickly. And yeah, so the way I play 152, as you'll know from the deck review, which you definitely didn't skip, is I spam reservist Vabs. And they're better now since when I used to do that, because the reservist trait got buffed quite a lot. But he doesn't do that. He just brings infantry 50 cals and stuff. I'm gonna have to try this division now, aren't I? Shame. So yeah, we got some more artillery coming in here for both sides. And the 203s are doing more work, mainly because like this guy keeps trying to snipe the 203 and the 203 just moves, so here's what it is. 17 minutes left for the Spanish player. I mean, it's looking pretty dicey now, because as long as he just does this and doesn't... I mean, so he has to sort all this out, basically, and then try and get around. This, you know, like, sort this flank out, and you can come over here and shoot them in the side, but if he's just attacking from the front, he's going to struggle. The thing is, the blue player is literally just wasting his planes, constantly wasting his planes. And so he will eventually run out of those, I suppose. This is out of rounds. There's supply coming for it. I just keep looking at this, but it's not... There you go, he's actually put somebody here now. And he's got somebody here, so that's good. The 50 cals I really don't rate as a concept. And these Milans, just wrong place, wrong time. This was coming past and it saw them. And this is here anyway. The 50 cal, yeah, it's just getting shot. And... what can I say? I mean, he needs to sort out the flanks, basically. That Blue's playing it quite well, in that the way you win this zone isn't you just run up and down this road and get shot. You take this, and then you sort of work your way around the sides, and then you try and shoot the enemy reinforcements and stuff, and then you can put... and then these positions all become untenable if you're getting shot in the side constantly and viewed in the side. Like, vision's very important. You can call in the arty then, or the airstrikes. Arty is usually better in this circumstance. So HE Bomber coming in there, he's going for the reservist LRAC. I don't know if it's worth it, honestly. Because, sure, he got 2, but this is a 35-point unit. And that's where the 40 mils and stuff come in. But you'll note that, you know, Mix Coffee is doing a great job of, like, look, the stuff dying here. There was a tank moved up, but look, these guys are just sat here dying. And the guy, like, this was getting shot before. What he needs to do is get an infantry recon in here, and then he'd see that easily. And they'd be very dead. So just sort of sitting in front of him. But you see the advantage of playing around the sides. You don't want to just walk up and down the road. And the same is true of basically any map. Whenever you see a zone, you should... how do I get into this zone? Obviously the fastest way is just to go in a straight line, but usually it's all about cutting the enemy's reinforcement road. And I've got a video on how to attack, and the example is 2 Lakes Duel. But it's sort of the same principle. You attack in 3 stages. Stage 1 is get a foothold in the zone. Stage 2 is cut the reinforcement road. So stage 3 is then, then actually take the rest of it. Because if you're red, in this case, and you've got a unit up to here, then you're shooting everybody coming down this road. If you've got a unit up to here, you're doing the same. Like, all this backline stuff, it just can't be there anymore because you'll be shooting it. Or seeing it and calling in artillery. But, yeah, like, there were 4 howitzers here, now there's... well, there were 3 right here, now there's 2 here, and he's bought the 4th one. And that's because he's not moving them in between shots. So they're getting hit. And you see that, actually, Blue is starting to lose his guy. There you go. He finally brought up a recon, just immediately saw it. It's not a great place to hang out. Like, if it was here, it would have been fine. Until these guys move forwards, I suppose. But yeah, even if this had just gone forwards a building, I think he would have seen it. So, artillery piece goes down, though, and that's a big deal when you're trying to grind the towns. If you lose 2 155mm howitzers, usually that's all anybody brings. But in this case, he's brought 4. So another thing you can do is turn off the auto cover, and when you get within 150 meters, you just stop. It will immediately throw the satchel because it has a 0-second aim time, and then you keep running. And that's just a small efficiency boost, and it'll lower their cohesion and stuff like that. Lower their cohesion, potentially stun them. But you've got to turn off the auto cover, otherwise when you press stop, it'll automatically try and path into the closest building. So I've got that bound to a hotkey. Although these days I spend more time with it off than on, so maybe I should have it off as the default, but because I'm too used to having it on as the default now. So the rocket planes, spoke about this, like he could have had a HE bomber instead, and imagine that there would have killed these two, but instead he's got 2 rocket planes and they don't do anything. But look at that, Scully's doing it. He's the AMX 30s. Blue's not really got a solution to these. He's run out of, I suppose he's buying some more of these little tanks, but how do you even deal with it? You need, like, a Hot 2s. To be honest, he needs, like, a... If he had an Infantry Appalachian in here somewhere, he would kill stuff, but he's making big progress. Lots of people have died over here, but he's finally starting to sort it out. He's got Fusiliers up. Is there a CV coming? There isn't. Oh, there is. Okay. I was going to say, you've got 11 minutes left. I don't really know if you've got time, but look at this. These guys have Appalachian, though, and, yeah, he gets killed by something else. Still got Commandos Delay, which is impressive at this point in the game. This forgot to move one time. Yeah, I mean, he needs to get a CV in, and that'll only put him on a +1. And he's got 10 minutes, so I'm not sure what he's going to do, really. He just keeps going down mid. I mean, if I was in his position, I would have cleared all this out with a recon healer, which I guess he doesn't have, but... You know, just go forwards with an infantry or shooting. You come up, like, these would be harder to find, I think. This would be harder to find. Like, how would you even know it's there? And then I'd be attacking this, because there's not really anybody actually in there. It's just a few screening units. Anyway, most of the arty's dead now. This will be the penultimate piece. There's one more there. And he's on a +1 with 10 minutes left, which is a quarter of the game. But he needs more, right? He needs a lot more. So that's 7 minutes and 30 seconds. That's like 750 points, something like that. Something like that. He needs 1,000. So he needs more, but you'll see. He's getting more CVs in. So Red, he needs more stuff. The obvious answer would be, okay, so he... What, somehow... Oh, I see, this must have killed him. The obvious answer would be to come over here and try something over here, because there's nobody there. And that's where your recon helos come in. This is still alive, okay. So, as you can see, this can fire at helos, but it's really not great. If the enemy's paying any attention, he'll be fine. Because look how slow the bullets are and stuff like that. Look at it. It's like super slow. So look, it survives, and he wasn't even paying that much attention. Anyway, he's just realised there's nothing here, but he's run out of bombers because he used 2 and they're both dead, so this is good. Right, he's coming in through this way and he spotted all that. Really do like the recon helo though. I mean, you could fly that in first, see what's there. Or you can use like this, for example, or even this, but it's tracked so it'd be slow. You just send that first. If it dies, it dies. It's a transport. Anyway, these reservists are coming in. I think he's noticed because he's bringing the tank out. And you see how bad this thing is, man. It's like, oh, it's hurting it. Well, I mean, what? If the enemy's literally a single-celled organism and just lets you sit there and shoot him for 20 seconds, then yeah, it's hurting him, but otherwise, it's a massive waste of time. So, yeah, it's not ideal. So, AT plane, he's using it to strafe, but he doesn't have vision. Yeah, so you'll note that this does actually outrange these. So he can just sit there and do that, and he will eventually hit him. Okay, he's diving him. So, Mando in here. That's off the Mandalorian. The black guy always calls him Mando. Mando, I need you to go get that girl from Battlestar Galactica. She's in the next season. And then the entire show is just about her for the rest of it. I thought that was really weird, actually. Anyway, yeah, this is working out. And he's going to try and get into Foxtrot. Obviously, there's some Appalachia guys coming in. The AT plane is having the run of the mill, but there's nothing to actually shoot. Well, because, I mean, obviously there's lots to shoot, but he can't see any of it, so can't shoot anything. But yeah, he needs more if he wants to win, and this is how you get it. On a +3 with 7 minutes, I think he'd be fine, actually. 7 minutes, the calculator up, so 7 times 60 is 420, divided by 1.5, times by 3, 840 points. Oh, it'd still be a draw, he needs more. So this is super fast, but yeah, he's just seen those, and he's like, oh, I don't want to get apple last. Which is fair enough, really. See the power of the Beck, right? Those cost the same. And yeah, imagine if this was a regular bomber, this would be dead. Okay. I'd be getting out of there, really, but I suppose he really wants to get this CV in the zone, so he's got to take his chances. Okay. Yeah, okay, so he gets that. And there you go, he's in here now. But there is a CV, and it's on its way. This is where you buy that, get that smoke mortar, right? This could have followed you around. Obviously, it's not easy to do, but the smoke mortar follows you, and then you smoke all this. Although I suppose in this case, it'd be better if it wasn't smoked, because otherwise you wouldn't see this guy coming. Oh, sugar, can he actually shoot from that range? That's crazy. Ooh! Oh, is this gonna die? Oh, that's hilarious. Because now he doesn't... Wait, is he actually... He's got like 9 CVs. But where did they all go? The one here... Oh, he tried to deploy it, and it died. It died here. So he's only got 1 of these infantry ones left. And then he had 2 of those. No, 3 of those. So how many of those have died? The car ones. No, hang on, he had 6 of the infantry ones. He had 6 of the infantry ones and 3 of the car ones. There's no way he's run out of CVs. Anyway, that gets out. But the Mirage 3 doesn't. And yeah, he needs a CV. I mean, what? He needs CVs, man. There's nobody here. He needs... Has he really run out? He had 9. 6 infantry ones and 3 vehicle ones. How is that possible? To lose them all. And yeah, he's trying to sneak this one in. Surely he's got more left. Like, he just needs to buy one for here, but he's not buying it. I'm gonna have to check those CV deaths at the end. This guy's trying his best. Yeah, typically these tanks are not great at close range against French because the Appalachia might get you, but the Appalachia is here, right? And so, okay, the Milan 2 gets him. I think he's going to see this guy. Oh, wow, there's one of them. Okay, so the one here, I guess, didn't die, unless it's a... No, that's a plane. It must have come all the way around here, so he gets Echo. This BMR's going straight back for it. And imagine if he had a recon helo. So useful. In the meantime, +4, yeah, there you go. So he did have a CV, but I think he spent too long to buy it, honestly. It's not looking great for blue. Because this will get into there, and that'll put that on a +4 again. If he kills it, like, this can actually kill all of that, but obviously he doesn't know. So it's risky, and he doesn't have any recon helos, and his ATGM helos, I think this is the last one, so he is sending that. BMR's coming in. Will that actually get in? He's saying, I'm going to cap it, and then I'm going to go out, and then I'm going to go back in again. Interesting. I think what's really going to happen is this is going to shoot at him, and if it misses, he's dead. If it misses, he's fine. Obviously, he's going to get in. If it doesn't miss, he's dead. But this is loaded up now, so it's got to unload. But yeah, this... I don't know why he didn't buy this earlier. And just get these, like, run that VAB down here. See what's there ahead of the CV. But yeah, the BMR, he missed. He missed with his less than 50% accuracy, which is, it's fair enough, really. This thing needs to smoke. It does have smoke. It could hide in its own smoke. Okay, it dies. So CV here, but it's +5 for red, because this has been neutralized now, so he needs to get one over there now. Oh, he didn't fully cap it. He's panicking. He's panicking. So he goes back, and he actually gave it a fast path instead of a reverse, so it had to turn around. He's panicking. You can tell he's panicking. Here we go, so this helo's going to spot this, and then the tank should kill it. The Vec has been spotted. Will it smoke? It will just kill it instead. I mean, it is 2-vet. It's 81% chance to hit it, and it's only got to hit it twice. So, yeah, he surrendered. That was a really interesting game, actually. It's a matchup, obviously, you don't see. You barely see anybody play this tip. And Spanish, not particularly, even though it's just come out, Spanish isn't that popular. So this is score rank 104, and this is mixed coffee rank... Alright, well, I'm not sure how that works, because obviously he's played a ranked game. This is a ranked game, right? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like a friendly or something. Anyway, he's got an 81% win rate in lobby games, so he's clearly a very good player. He's played, like 3-4 times more than 4 times more than Skull here. No, okay, under 4 times more than Skull here. And that's the Hippie dividend. If you watch Hippie YouTube videos, you're basically 4 times better than people who don't. So do you want to be 4 times better? Watch the videos, which you obviously you're currently watching it, so I guess that doesn't really make sense to say. But I do appreciate you watching it. One watch is one like is one prayer. One promise to keep me away from Aldi. Anyway, let's count those CVs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he still had 3 CVs. One was on the map in the bottom left. So he still had more to buy. Anyways, I do hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you around. GG.